Did you know you can paint outside of your UVs in Mari? Here we have our UV view and we can see each shell stamped out with a transparent background. This is the way Mari will display your UVs to you by default, but when you export your images, Mari will not export with a transparent background. You can disable the behavior of the transparent background by going to the shading menu and choosing Toggle UV Image, which will show the actual image applied to your UVs. What you see around the UV shells here is the so-called texture bleed or texture dilation, which is used in rendering to avoid artifacts around the borders of UVs when zoomed out and using a lower bitmap level. When I paint on my UVs, Mari automatically applies this texture bleed, as you can see here. While the paint buffer is not baked down, the stroke reaches over the borders of the UVs. But once baked, the paint stops at the edge and turns into texture bleeding. You can, however, paint outside of the areas of your UVs by going again to the shading menu and choose Toggle Whole Patch Project. If I paint and project my paint buffer now, then Mari will no longer apply any texture bleed to the paint stroke and instead bake down the paint exactly the way you see it in your buffer. Now you might ask yourself, why would you want this? Where this feature comes in handy is when you need to protect certain areas of your image from receiving texture bleeding on export. For example, because the area of the exported image is occupied by UVs of another object that you currently do not have in your Mari project, but you're sharing the same texture across multiple objects or variants of the same object.